I've got a fever, and the only prescription is more cutting board videos. I had a lot of leftover maple from my basement built-ins, and always kind of wanted to make a really nice big cutting board, so I thought, why not? Besides, if there's one thing YouTube needs, it's more cutting board videos, right? I took all my maple pieces and ripped them down to the same thickness or width, and then I slapped them onto my crosscut sled and cut them all to the same length, and then we were ready to rock and roll. Once that was done, I figured out what type of pattern I wanted to glue it all up in, and I glued it up. You gotta use Titebond 3 because it's waterproof or something like that, but otherwise it's pretty much like gluing up any other wood. Just make sure you got good glue coverage. I glued it up in a few different sections. Not really sure why I did that, but I did. Maybe I thought it would be easier to work with or something. I don't know. Or maybe I just wanted this project to take a little bit longer so I could spend more time in the garage. Hard to say at this point, but that's what I did. You could probably glue it all up in one section though if you wanted to do it yourself. Like I said, couple sections. This one's section number 2, or maybe section number 3. Here we go, the final glue up. Then all we gotta do is about 8 hours of sanding and we're ready to finish. Oh yeah, forgot, we also have to fill in any voids in the wood. Make sure you use a good food safe epoxy. Not sure if this one is, but I used it anyway. Just gonna dab a little bit of epoxy in any of the gaps in the wood here. I didn't have too terrible many. Most of them were very small, so probably could have left them alone, but you know, when you're a perfectionist, you gotta fix those little imperfections. This took, 16, 17, 18 rounds, no big deal. Okay, now we're ready for sanding. Although if you've noticed, I did a couple of rounds before I started filming, just to get a head start on you folks. I marked the wood with a pencil before I start sanding to make sure that I sand the whole area evenly. Once the pencil marks are gone, I know that that area has been sanded adequately and that the wood has all been sanded evenly. Now that everything's nice and smooth, I'm going to router a 45-degree bevel on the edge of the cutting board. This serves two purposes. It makes it look a little bit nicer, and since this is a pretty solid and heavy piece of wood, it's going to make it a little bit easier to pick it up off the counter because I can get my fingers underneath the lip of it. I'm wetting the wood a little bit to raise the grain. Since this is a cutting board and it's going to get wet, I want to make sure I do that in advance. I'm also going to hand sand the bevel a little bit. I just can't seem to avoid burn marks when I use my router. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but clearly it can't avoid it. I don't know. I'm just gonna give it one more wipe down to get rid of any excess dust using the dry paper towel, and then we're ready to apply the finish. Since this is my first cutting board ever, I'm using a really simple wipe-on finish, just a regular butcher block finish. There's a lot of different finishes you can use, and I tried to do my research to figure out the best one. And long story short, I decided that there are pros and cons to all of them, and I just wanted to go with something simple since I haven't done this before. But yeah, so I did this. I applied probably 4 or 5 coats, and I let it stand for quite a while in between wiping off the excess before I used another coat. And here we have the finished product. Hope you enjoyed it.